If you need a too long didn't watch for the Kiwi Ears Altruva, I'm just going to tell you right now, just go to Amazon, just buy it. Just buy it. And return it if you don't like it, but just give it a try because it costs $62 and it really doesn't get much more budget than that, especially for an open back headphone that's easy to drive, that's built pretty well, that sounds this good. It's just kind of shocking what Kiwi Ears was able to do with the Kiwi Ears Altruva. And I don't know about you guys, but I love this wooden style. It also comes in a more traditional gray colorway, but I really like the wooden ear cups here. I like this little grill area, and if you look closely, the inside is also like a brownish type of color, which really blends well with the wooden aesthetic. So really nice from Kiwi Ears on a really cheap headphone to pay that much attention to the little details. These are the velour type of ear pads, more of a fabric material. They won't get as sweaty as these leather ones, but I've actually been using the leather ones. I find them slightly more comfortable. I feel like the foam might be a little softer. I feel like I'm getting a little bit more space in the ear cups, so they just fit my ears better. But the fabric is actually a really nice material. Once again, kind of punching above its weight in terms of the materials, the build quality, and as I'll get to in a moment, the sound quality as well, for the price of what's currently $62, which is just crazy. You also get this very long cable. Too long, in my opinion, but it's a nice two-prong cable, 3.5 millimeter jack. Getting into the build quality and comfort here, you're getting an aluminum frame here, which is pretty cool to the touch. The ear cups are plastic. Then you have this grill part that looks nice. The headband is wrapped in leatherette, and it doesn't have a ton of padding, but you really don't feel it because it's a suspension strap, so it just kind of conforms to your head. This is where I feel like you can feel maybe the budget a little bit. These little strings here, they don't feel too secure. I haven't had an issue with them yet. It does do a good job of actually conforming to my head shape. And it's just very comfortable. And the clamp force is like perfect. It's not too light, but it's also not too strong. It's kind of in the middle, and it just fits really well on your head. You don't feel it shifting either left, right, or up. And you're getting a pretty good seal, which is really important for bass response, which these do particularly well. And I think maybe the seal is doing a good job in order to get that bass. The ear pads are really easy to switch off. Just pull it to the left, comes off. Get your other one, take off this little bracket, put it here, and then you just clip it on. I'm not gonna do it for you right now, but it is rather easy. I already have it on this one. There you go. Right back on. So the build quality is good. The only thing I don't like is that little piece on the suspension strap. And I do find it could be a little loud sometimes when you're putting it, particularly when you're taking it off, when the suspension just snaps back into place. But it's not too big of a deal. For $62, we can deal with that. Like I said, the materials on the ear pads are actually really nice. I quite like it, and it just feels good. It feels like a good pair of headphones. It's quite lightweight, doesn't have a lot of weight to it. These are super easy to drive. I've been using them just with this little Anchor USB-C to 3.5 millimeter dongle, and I am not needing any more volume. I'm running these at like 65% on my iPhone 17 Pro, and they get more than loud enough, and I don't feel that you need any higher power type of DAC or amp to drive these, which is awesome because it kind of, that is kind of the purpose, just to have a budget type of setup. You get these for $62. They come with the ear pads, comes with the cable already. You buy this little anchor dongle for $10 to $15, and for less than $80, you're good to go. Like, you have a really nice music listening setup, and it's a really rewarding listening experience as well. Getting into sound quality, these are surprisingly clear. and surprisingly a little bit bassy. They have a pretty strong low end, which you don't really get with a lot of open backs. I feel like the newer open backs are kind of getting a little bit more good at presenting deeper bass. I think the way companies are tuning their open backs is helping the headphones just get a cleaner and more rumbly low end. And these have a kind of surprising amount of bass. The mids are scooped a little bit, but not overly so. And you're still getting really clear and almost emphasized vocals, because in the upper mid range, you are getting a little bit of an emphasis. So the sound profile it's neither warm nor cold, but the vocal presentation is pushed forward a little bit, and it just makes for a really nice listening experience. There's a good amount of treble emphasis. It can get a little bit sharp at times. It depends on the track, but I didn't find it happening too often. And that treble emphasis does make it seem like it's a little bit more detailed than even higher end headphones that I've tried, like the Beyerdynamic DT900 Pro X. This comes across as more detailed just because of that little treble emphasis. And these obviously have more bass than the DT900 Pro X, any of the HT500 Sennheisers, the DT990 Pro X from Beyerdynamic as well. These have more bass, and it's not like messy bass. It's quite a controlled bass. These 50mm dynamic drivers are doing a really good job in terms of not distorting on the low end. Plus, you're getting really nice natural vocals. There is a little bit of raspiness to some vocals, and because of that treble emphasis, maybe at times the vocals can be a little abrasive, but it's not too bad. You're never gonna find yourself saying, oh my God, what was that? Which is very commendable at this price point. For instance, The Weeknd's voice on his Hurry Up Tomorrow album, or even the After Hours album, any of his songs really, his voice comes across naturally, and his voice kind of tends to have some sibilance to it depending on the headphones that you're using. But with these, it's like right on the edge. It doesn't get sibilant, but you can hear kind of a little bit of an emphasis on the S's, which his voice kind of tends to bring about. But in terms of The Weeknd's music, you have the bass emphasis from these along with that little treble emphasis, and it's just a nice, well-rounded experience. You can even listen to like hip hop or reggaeton with these, and the low-end thump is surprising, and it's really good for those types of music genres. Clean, natural type of listen with some scooped out mids where you might be wanting a little bit more warmth, but you can EQ that, bring in a little bit more in the mid-range, lower mid-range, to bring it a little bit more warmth. But I don't think it needs a ton of EQ, to be honest with you. Just right out of the box, it's a good, nice experience. In terms of gaming, these are like kind of nice for immersive type of gaming. FPS, pretty good because it's an open back, so you're getting decent imaging performance, and no frequency really dominates the other ones, so you can kind of pinpoint footsteps, especially in Battlefield 6. It does a pretty good job, but obviously it's not going to be on the level of a specific gaming headset that's tailor-made for FPS, like the HyperX Cloud 3S or something like that. But they're serviceable in FPS, and I really like them for immersive single-story player games. For instance, playing Expedition 33, the music in that game is so enveloping, and because these have a really good musical performance to it, that game really pops, especially with the sound effects. The sound effects can be a little bit shrieky, a little bit piercing at times, especially if you're playing at higher volumes. But like I said, it depends on the game. But these are really nice for racing games. You can really hear the engine roar. You can hear the environments really well, the atmosphere. It's just an overall good experience, and I really commend Kiwi Ears for doing such a great job at such a low price. I've checked out some of their products in the past, and I haven't always loved them. I checked out the Kiwi Ears Orador, which was a ANC headphone for, I think it was $100 at the time. That one I found okay. I didn't find them too comfortable, but these get a recommend from me for sure. As a disclaimer, Kiwi Ears did send these to me, but they did not tell me what to say or give me any restrictions or anything like that. So these are my real honest opinions. I really do like these headphones, and I think they're absolutely worth a try, especially at the price. Like, even if these were $150, I would say probably worth a try. Maybe at $150, the build quality would be slightly lacking, and you might want a little bit of a better mid-range, more natural mid-range at that price point. But at $62, I mean, just get on Amazon, give it a try. If you don't like it, return it. But if you do give it a try, I think you're going to be quite surprised by the audio quality that you get from these, for music, for gaming, for other media consumption. Definitely worth a try. I'll have a link below if you guys want to check these out, and I'll see you guys in the next one.